Hello fellow YouTubers, welcome back to the Trouble 8385 show. So today I'm going to talk about Transformers Dark of the Moon. Let me say first things first. This is a movie, if you're going to see it, that has to be seen in the theaters and that has to be seen in 3D. This is just one of those movies. I went to see the movie the day it opened and I saw it in 3D only because it was showing earlier than non-3D, and I'm glad I did, because from the very beginning of this movie to the very end of this movie, it is non-stop special 3D effects. It is, if your eyes tire with a lot of 3D effects, then this movie will tire you out. I can understand why some people by the end of this movie seem exhausted, because it almost seemed like Michael Bay wanted to make up so much for the last movie that he threw everything in the kitchen sink when it came to action in this movie. Transformations, things exploded, things happened and left all over the place in this movie. Now I will say that the ship that you see crashing in the trailer is very important to not only from the 80s cartoon but Transformer lore, around with the person who has something to do with the moon, Transformer. And also something else from the series you will see, the original cartoon series, that they reimagined, that doesn't bother me that they have to reimagine for the movies because it's a different, vehicle to show it. But I will say, again, just like the second movie, the one thing I don't like is I always want it just to be Optimus and the Autobots versus Megatron, Decepticons. Instead it's Optimus and Megatron and somebody else that has something to do with something. There are some great actors in this new movie, from John Malkovich doing his comedy to Leonard Nimoy voicing a Transformer, which, even though he voices it, I still hear him as Spock, even though, he's a Transformer. But then again, there is that link to the animated movie where he played Galvatron. Now, let's get this out of the way. Is this movie better than Revenge of the Fallen? Yes. Is this movie better than the original? Not in my opinion, it's not. The original was just so great, pulling on your remembrance of the 80s cartoon as a child, and at the same time modernizing it and changing the story for movies. It just seemed perfect. The boy in the car concept in the first movie and all that stuff just works so well. Now in this new movie, they do get back to a little bit the boy in his car at certain spots, with Bumblebee, of course. This movie is a movie, if you want to go see a movie with, beginning to end 3D effects, special effects, go with the flow movie, this is your movie. If you want a movie to overthink about, or whatever they show you in the movie, that's what it is. There's nothing more to think about in the movie. And if you want more than that, this is not your movie. This is a movie you just put the 3D glasses on and you just go with the ride. It is the definition of what a summer blockbuster is supposed to be. I think too many times people who review movies expect this great story and stuff, and that's not the definition. Sometimes there are some movies where you just go to see the special effects and go with the ride, and this is one of those movies. I will say that there are Transformers on both sides that will not make it to the end of this movie. That the way they ended this movie is an interesting clean slate for if Michael Bay decides to come back or not, for whoever takes over next. I do hope they continue on. I don't want them to go back and reboot it from the beginning. I really don't like when they do that with movies. Superhero movies that reboot to the very beginning. The new Spider-Man has no interest to me because of rebooting it. But listening back to the original interview that Steven Spielberg and Michael Bay did when the first movie came out, they said they originally envisioned a 3-movie trilogy where the third movie they would want to do the death of Optimus Prime and Unicron. So it makes me wonder if maybe Michael Bay might have one more in him. Who knows? But he did a much better job in this movie. If you like a non-stop action, if you like a lot of comedy, there's a lot of comedy in this movie, just natural comedy. It doesn't seem forced. If you like a lot of comedy that'll make you laugh. Sam Witwick's parents are back to being more like they were in the first movie. That awkward funniness comedy with their relationship. The new girl plays is Sam Witwick's love interest. Doesn't hurt the movie, but she doesn't help the movie. She's just there. So her character seemed better to me than Megan Fox for some reason. I don't know why. I like Shia LaBeouf in this movie just like I like the last two. I like how they took his character. First one he was in high school, second one he's in college. This one he's out of college, he's looking for a job. And like most people out of college, he wants to matter. Of course they use in this movie he wants to matter because he saved the world twice. But he wants to matter. He doesn't just want to, start at the bottom like everybody has to do. But if you like non-stop action, this is a great movie for you. This really, if you like to see If they had more Generation 1 Transformers in here, you know, like Laserbeak, like Soundwave, you know, Shockwave, I believe, is in the movie, you know, Sideswipe, those Generation 1 Transformers you remember. And the Decepticons are very, very deceptive in this movie. You'll have to see the story to find out what I mean. The one thing I didn't like about in this movie was the fact that they seemed to weaken Megatron in this movie. I didn't like that so much, considering what his character was supposed to be. I didn't like that part of it. But overall, it was a great movie. If you liked, you know, just special effects, action movie, then this is your movie. I had a lot of fun with it, and I do hope that they continue on to a fourth one. Though it'd be interesting to see where they go after this movie. So that's all I have to say about the movie. I enjoyed the movie, so leave your comments below if you've seen the movie. So guys, till I make another video.